The Clever Sheep's Choice. In a quiet valley where the grass grew sweet and green, lived Millie the sheep. She was a very hard-working and careful sheep. Every summer, she gathered golden wheat and stored it safely in her sturdy wooden barn to keep her belly full during the cold winter months. High on the hill lived Tyne the Stag. Tyne was elegant and grand, with tall, branching antlers that reached for the sky. He was also very, very fast. When he ran, he looked like a brown blur streaking across the meadows, leaving everyone else far behind. One afternoon, Tyne walked down to the valley. He felt a bit lazy and hadn't gathered any food of his own. He stopped at Millie's fence and called out, "Dear Millie, you have so much wheat. Would you be so kind as to lend me a bag? I promise to pay you back very soon." Millie looked at Tyne's long, powerful legs. She knew how quickly he could disappear into the forest. She tilted her head and asked, "I would like to help you, Tyne. But how can I be sure you will return the wheat? Do you have someone to promise for you?" Just then, a shadow stretched across the grass. Out from behind a gnarled oak tree stepped Vane the wolf. Vane had a long, bushy tail and a very sharp smile. He was known throughout the valley for taking things that didn't belong to him and then vanishing into thin air. Tyne the Stag gestured toward the newcomer. "Look, Millie, my good friend Vane is here. He is a noble witness. He will promise that I pay you back. If I do not return the wheat, Vane will make sure you are not forgotten." Vane nodded quickly, his eyes twinkling. Millie looked at the wolf, and then she looked at the stag. She remembered the stories she had heard. She knew that Vane the wolf was famous for his tricks, and she knew that Tyne the Stag was famous for his speed. She began to worry about her precious wheat. Millie looked directly at Vane. "Vane," she said softly, "you are known for taking things and never giving them back. If I lend my wheat to Tyne and he does not pay me, how could I ever collect it from you? You would only laugh and run away into the dark woods." Then Millie turned back to Tyne. "And you, Tyne, are the fastest runner in the land. If you decide to keep my wheat and run to the mountains, I could never catch you. A promise from a thief and a runner is not a promise I can keep in my barn." She shook her head, no. Millie turned around and walked back to her barn. She slid the heavy wooden bolt across the door and clicked the lock. She knew it was better to be safe and keep her wheat than to trust those who might leave her with nothing. Two untrustworthy friends do not make a deal any safer.